Let's just keep it real. This is racism. Donald Trump shut down DC, not because he wants to get rid of the homeless people, not because he's so concerned about these gangs of young people. No, he shut it down because it's a predominantly Black area. And we know, going way back in his history, he does not like Black people. That's what this is about. This is about purging. Oh, I'm so mad. Oh my God. This is about purging people of color from that area. And it'll be the first. He'll try more. This is like, people say California was the test. I don't think California was the test. It wasn't strong enough. This is the test, DC. And if we allow this to move forward, we're in trouble. Because he will go after every major city, and he'll go after people of color first. And even though there's been this big immigration hit with our Hispanic brothers and sisters, I feel like for him, with the DC thing, this is about Black people specifically. And we know, those of us who have been paying attention, all the protests we've been having for months and months and months, Black people have stayed out of it for the most part, which was quite wise. And we all know why. If you don't know why, ask one of your Black friends. And everybody should have a Black friend and a brown friend. Have lots of them. It's good. Makes you a better person. Diversity. It's good. So let's not let Trump get away with thinking that we're idiots and that we don't see exactly what's going on, what he's trying to do. This will not become an all-white America. No, we are not vanilla. We're not. We were never meant to be vanilla. I don't want vanilla. I want 31 flavors. I'm so mad. This shit pisses me off.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another video. It's Nagre here. Thanks for clicking on today's video. This is something I have been sharing every single day. Like, if you listen to all the things that I've been sharing, it's always been about how the Trump administration, or him as a person, how he's really pissed, how they are all pissed on why Black people are not reacting to anything that he's putting in place. And so when I come across like videos of Palm people coming out and talking about this issue, I feel good about it. Like, I was right when I said those things. And a few people have been saying the same thing. Like, it bothers a nation that has been, feeding off of the pain, the struggles of other people. And those same people are not reacting or giving any kind of attention to anything that they are being imposed on, if that makes sense. Is that the right way to like phrase it? You get what I mean? Like, America was built on racism, as I've been sharing every single day here. Is what I've been learning and what I've learned literally. So for them to be in a position where they are putting all these regulations, all these policies to, see Black people react and it's not coming out, it is bothering them. It triggers them. They are in a dilemma. They don't know what they have to do to bring back maybe what happened in 2020. But I mean, here we are, even their own are so tired of seeing this mess happening in their country because they're seeing it sink. And they're also feeling unsafe in this situation because, I mean, when Trump comes and uses the excuse of homeless people, I mean, there's a lot of homeless people. Let's be clear on that. Even though he's trying to target Black people, they will also be affected. They will be targeted. So they are also scared for their lives. And guess what? Who is going to like lose more? It's going to be them, because when it comes to Black people, my people, they are used to this craziness. And I'm pretty sure my people are also planning on, a defense mechanism, and very much sure they are prepared for anything. So listen to what, Pam people are saying about this and my people as well, to Trump's excuse over homeless people just to trigger black people to get the reaction he's looking for. Come back, let me know your thoughts on it.
Told you Donald Trump was going to come after black people now. Sending out authorities into the streets of Washington, D.C. to quote unquote rid the population of homelessness and crime. That only equates to, we don't want you here unless you're white. We're tired of D.C. being a black city or a black staple in the United States. And since I'm the president, I'm going to go ahead and push my weight around like I always do and quote unquote get rid of you. Yeah. You know, it's coming to the point where I don't even like talking about this shit anymore, but it's so fucking blatant that it absolutely boggles my mind that we are here in 2025 allowing this Schmittler to run our country. And all of his supporters are cheering him on because they love this. They don't give a fuck about a policy or saving America. They don't give a damn about prices. They want to get rid of people who aren't white. This is how it's always been. But now they're cheerleading from the sidelines because they have a master in charge that will help them eradicate all the people they're jealous of.
Oh, but sit down, there's more. I'm on a roll tonight. Let's talk about the Trump administration placing the images of black men on the White House social media pages. So the Trump administration has just crossed another line, posting the mugshots of arrested black men on the official White House social media pages. Not one white man, not one non-black face. Did you know about that? Let's be clear. This isn't about transparency or public safety. This is about controlling the narrative. And I've been talking about that this week on social media, how they are allowing the media to be controlled about what you see, controlled about what you hear about, controlled about what you learn. We're literally having to say things like, what was that word that I've been hearing or that phrase? Music festival? What about that one? Or what about the purses? You couldn't even say the other word again because you just may get suppressed. So let's be clear. It's about stoking fear and feeding into the age-old racist stereotype that black people are inherently criminal or dangerous. Because remember, this is the same guy that took out a 4-page ad on 4 innocent young black men. Yeah, that same guy. So this isn't a new tactic, folks. We already know that. This is not new. We're used to this. We already know how this is going to go. And here's the thing. We're going to have to watch very carefully how the media plays this out because guess what? If you think he's not controlling the media, think again. I guarantee you this entire conversation that we're having right now won't even get 3,000 views. It won't even get 300. Because my information and other people who provide news and journalistic commentary and content is being suppressed. All right. Let's get back into it, shall we? Hang on just a second. So here's what they're doing. This is not about the concept that this is new, because we all know that it is not. This is about continuing to work on the continuous stereotype of the black male in this country, right? It's used to justify over-policing. It's also used to talk about mass incarceration, because we already know what that's all about, right? You remember the 13th Amendment, and you do know what that's about. Right? Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. And that violent targeting of our communities for decades, that ain't new either. There's more. So by pushing these images out to the public on the White House page, that must make it real, right? That's got to make it real. Here's what's happening. They're shaping the perception and telling the nation who to fear. They want old white ladies to continue to clutch their purses in public and lock their doors, justifying future crackdowns. That's what they're doing too. I want you to understand that this is actually planting the seed that an increase in police and military presence in black neighborhoods is necessary. And they're distracting you guys from the systemic failure that we're all witnessing right now. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about what that means? So they're masking policy failures with the mess that we are seeing right now. Washington, D.C.'s crime rate is the lowest it's been in almost 30 years. It's down another 26%. The data and the numbers don't lie. But here's the issue. History is absolutely repeating itself. So this mirrors the exact same propaganda campaigns used to target Latinx and immigrant communities. And we're seeing that in real time, where they're just going around and they're just picking up folks. Doesn't matter who it is. We just go pick them up. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. Yeah. Now the focus is on black communities. And y'all, we have said that on social media. We have continued to say that on social media. From the beginning, we knew that our communities were next. Now, here's the end game. It's going to be expanded racial profiling. We already see that, okay? Higher rates of police violence, without a word being said, and further erosion of our civil rights. You ever thought about that too? Because it's coming. Here's the reason why you should be alarmed and you should be hot as fish grease. Here's what starts with selective mugshot posts that don't end there. Here's the issue. You're going to continue to see it. How dare you place their faces on there? But then this is the same administration that has somebody working their social media, and they're thinking that it's funny to go ahead and put images and video of people who are literally flipping out over what's happening with this current administration. So they're going to normalize racial bias, but we're not new to that, right? Desensitize the public. That's already been done, right? To disproportionate arrests and police violence. But see, that's already been done. That's already been done. Paving the way for harsher laws targeting specific communities under the guise of quote unquote safety. Because, you know, we've seen it before. Now, what we can't do is ignore what's happening, okay? We do understand that the shift was always there. They're just bringing it to the forefront for everybody to see more and more and more. But again, y'all, this is not new information to this community, my black community, my black brothers and sisters. We already know what's up. Here's our call to action. Transparency. Full racial breakdowns of arrests, not selective publicity. Accountability. Demand answers from elected officials who remain silent. And we're seeing a whole hell of a lot of that, aren't we? And here's something else. Community defense. Support local advocacy groups documenting racial profiling and fighting back in courts and councils. Listen, racial profiling and police violence are about to spike, not just in DC. They're just making it quote unquote okay to do it. You should be made aware now if you have not already been. And here's the thing. If you have young black men in your home, if you have black men that you love, that you honor, that you respect, just know that we need to have those conversations with our young black men again. Mothers, daughters, sisters, grandmothers, aunties, just know. And it's not just about the black man, it's about the black folks, period. This is just a wake-up call. I will say this. Black folks, this is what you voted for. For those that were excited about this. You see how the press and you just get up in front of everybody and you just tell people what you want them to know and what to believe. And we believe it. How you feel about that? Because the next wave of policies are not done coming now. And you should be absolutely furious. But the question is, what you gonna do?
I'm so confused. Donald Trump told us that he didn't have the authority to deploy the National Guard during the January 6th insurrection. But now he has the authority to deploy the National Guard on DC. There is no national emergency in DC. DC is actually dealing with some of the lowest crime rates in the last decade, but yet he's deploying the National Guard because one of Doge staff members were attacked. Donald Trump sending the National Guard into cities that are predominantly led by Black folks is not a coincidence. All of this is happening in broad daylight. They are telling us what they want to do. This is fascism. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He wants to deploy nearly 1,000 National Guards to DC. The same amount that he deployed to Los Angeles, which is 3 times the size, if not more, than DC. And I used to live in DC. I was also on the Police Oversight Commission. And one of the real frustrations of being on the Police Oversight Commission is that there are so many police agencies that already exist within DC. DC is already over-policed. So if crime is continuing to happen, it goes to show that police are not the solution to reduce crime.
I am seeing an awful lot of people on social media today, including some of my mutuals, who seem to be carrying water for the fascists when it comes to what is happening in Washington, D.C., with Trump's decision to deploy a couple hundred National Guard and also federalize the police for less than 30 days. I realize that it's fairly easy to get in a doom spiral about what Trump is trying to do because he's a would-be dictator trying to do dictator shit in a country that has, up until very recently, been a democracy. And that feels really scary. And also, we are watching so many different sources bombard us with propaganda. That propaganda is designed to make you think that Trump is big, he's all-powerful, he's inevitable, he can do whatever he wants, nobody can stop him. Every terrible, horrible thing that you fantasize, every terrible, horrible thing that he would love to do, he is going to be able to do that. He will be successful at it. And this is why I say so many of y'all are carrying water for the fascists, because you make it sound like Trump is going to be successful doing whatever terrible thing he wants and nobody can stop him, that the end is already here. Y'all are the same people who back in April and then again in June whipped yourselves all up into a panic. Sure that Donald Trump was going to declare martial law, suspend the Constitution, and roll out troops all across the country on like particular days. That the day after the hands-off protests, and then again on June 20th, that like this was going to happen. Y'all sounded like Nostradamus. But guess what? The world still hasn't ended. And y'all are also the same folks who said when Trump rolled in all of those tanks for his military birthday parade, that was the beginning of the army occupying Washington, D.C. Once they roll in, they'll never roll out. And that did not happen. Your prediction did not come true yet again. And also, we saw the military engage in the most overt malicious compliance. They didn't want to participate in that display. They didn't want to be used as pawns in order to gratify Trump's ego for his birthday. Y'all are the same folks who said when Donald Trump put National Guard and Marines in LA that was the beginning of the complete military occupation of Los Angeles. It would spread all over California. It would spread to New York. It would be every major city in the country. That was the beginning of martial law. That was the beginning of the end. That was the military takeover. And did that happen? Did we watch tens of thousands of troops roll into Los Angeles and occupy the city? No. What we've seen is actually the opposite. We've seen local and state government pushing back. We have seen the people of Los Angeles consistently resisting. They're not rolling over. They're not saying all hope is lost. Oh, Trump now occupies Los Angeles with 300 National Guard members. We better give up. Fascism's here and we're just going to roll over. No, you've seen Los Angeles consistently saying we will defend our rights. We will exercise our rights. We will not tolerate this. I have so much respect for the people of Los Angeles consistently saying we're not giving up. We're not pretending this is all over. We will not be doomers. We will not roll over and show fascism our belly. Not only have we seen Trump waste $165 million of our taxpayer money for a complete failure of a spectacle, he did not get what he wanted out of that. He's had to pull back troops. We're also seeing the California National Guard themselves don't want to be there. These are people who live in California who don't want to stand up against their neighbors. Their families are pushing back against them. We have loads of reporting. I know I've covered this in the past, that their morale is very low. They don't want to re-enlist. They don't want to be doing this job, and all they're doing is standing around. So once again, y'all's predictions there were wrong. And I think it's important to understand what is happening in DC today has a lot to do with California. It definitely has a lot to do with the Epstein files, because this is absolutely a distraction from the Epstein files. It's also the fact that he's pissed off that one of Elon Musk's little Shitler youths got beaten up in DC, and I'll talk about that later. But it really has a lot to do with Los Angeles and what a big fat failure that show of power has been for Trump, even though a lot of y'all called it the beginning of the end. And a lot of y'all said Trump is able to do whatever he wants. Nobody can stop him when it came to Los Angeles. The people of Los Angeles have shown that they are going to stop him, that they are stopping him. It is not a coincidence, y'all, that Trump is beginning this bullshit in Washington, D.C. the same day that his trial is beginning in Los Angeles, where the Trump regime is being accused of violating the Posse Comitatus Act by sending troops into Los Angeles. Right, the Posse Comitatus Act says that the president is allowed to call out the National Guard into his federal service when the country is, quote, invaded, when there is a rebellion or danger of a rebellion against the authority of the government, or to execute the laws of the United States. The judge that is overseeing this case in Los Angeles today already said that the protests in Los Angeles fall far short of a rebellion. Los Angeles Mayor Bass, Governor Gavin Newsom, and the police chief for the LAPD all said they did not want or need federal troops. They had the protests under control. They were no big deal. This trial is going to be a bad scene for Donald Trump, I think, and he knows it. Donald Trump is a fragile would-be dictator who really thought Californians were just going to roll over if he sent in a couple hundred National Guard and Marines. He thought that it was going to be an easy win for him, and it wasn't, because the people are consistently resisting. Californians are consistently resisting. Americans all over the country are consistently resisting. We know Trump is really obsessed with controlling the military. We know he looks up to military-style dictators like Putin and Kim Jong-un. He was caught on camera recently saying that the American people should treat him like North Koreans treat their dictator, with the same kind of obedience and reverence. A man who has never served in the military wants to use our service members as pawns in order to enact his megalomaniacal vision in the United States of America. And it's not going well for him. He picked California first. He picked Los Angeles first because racism, and he thought that I'll pick a city that's like 40% Latinos, and that's going to make it a very incendiary situation, and will make it easier for me to justify expanding this kind of overreach to other cities. But that's not what's happening. Californians are consistently showing up in very public acts of nonviolent resistance, and they're not giving Trump any fuel for his fire. And they're fighting back in the courts, like the case that is starting today. And so Trump, I'm going to go try this somewhere else. And he's using one of Elon Musk's Shitler youth getting beaten up by a couple of teenagers as the excuse. But it's not going to work, because just like the people are effectively, intelligently resisting in Los Angeles, and they will not roll over for fascists, we are already on day one, seeing folks in Washington, D.C. say the same thing. Fuck this shit. We are not rolling over for fascism.
We have some news right now. We have another big protest breaking out in D.C. Hundreds of people are currently marching across the city right behind me. As you can actually see, it's not as big as the one from this morning. It's a few hundred people. And what they're marching against is what Donald Trump's takeover of the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department. Here you can see them right behind me. And at the front of the protest is
So all y'all dude bros sitting on here making content saying, we're cooked, it's all over, it's the end, it's the military takeover of the United States starting in DC. You already said that once about DC and you were wrong. You already said it about Los Angeles and you were wrong. You already said it about the national protests that we have had for No King's Day, for hands off, and you were wrong. Because while you sit there wallowing in defeat, engaging in anticipatory compliance with fascism, making content, going on lives to bemoan how it's all over as you sit there doing nothing to resist, the rest of us are not giving up, because we know that Donald Trump is not as powerful as you seem to think he is. We know that the true power lies with the American people. We know that we have got to come together and exercise that power. And when we do, as long as we keep resisting, as long as we keep fighting together for democracy, the fascists can't win. So why the fuck do you keep trying to hand Donald Trump a victory that he doesn't have? Why do you keep trying to hand over our democracy, our future, to the fascists?
As you see in the video, that is what people are saying. And always, I'll tell you guys, I appreciate when I come across videos of Palm people talking about these issues. And the other thing I want to say is, every protest, there's not been Black people in most of the protests that have been going on in the US. That is also an issue, because when it comes to the media, they always want to put Black faces, Black bodies as they are the problem, or they are the ones that actually cause chaos, the ones that are not satisfied with anything. But now in this situation, it's only white faces that are seen. So the media is also confused on what to use to put a blame on. Like, if this group of people that they've been used to is not reacting and bringing out any kind of action, no propaganda. That's why you had the sister talk about how Trump and his websites are trying to put Black men as the ones that are the cause of what happened in DC with someone that was attacked, because they don't have anything to offer or to give for them to still feed themselves as they are in control. Because now Black people are showing that, hey, we are in control, and you're not going to provoke us to leave our homes, to leave our families, to go on the street for us to lose lives, because that's what you're waiting for. Let's take back our power and stay grounded and wait till it's time for us to act. That's why we are not seeing a lot of media showing any protests, showing any, the things they are claiming that are happening. Let's say, for example, in DC, because there is no Black people. They always use Black faces, and because now Black people are not showing up, there is nothing to show. It's the same thing when it came to the fires in LA, the floods that happened in Texas. They always found a way to twist it and like put the blame on Black people. I mean, I've shared those videos. My people, Black people, they're like, you know what? I think we've endured enough, and it's time for us to step back and just watch whatever that is going on. Yes, we are affected, but we are not going to, they say, we are not going to wake up our Black A's. Don't want to curse. It's YouTube. And, take ourselves on the streets. Let's stay in our homes, find us in our homes. Just like now, Trump is, finding ways to go and attack Black people's cities. Because, that's what they feed on. Without that energy, they can't run. We can clearly see it. Oh, he is doing everything that is possible to get away from the Epstein files, because I mean that file is really, really something that people are pushing to get out, and they are looking for all ways possible to just disguise that and attack Black people. That's what it looks like. They are running away from their consequences or accountability, because I mean that is very, very serious. Like whatever they did in those files must be so disgusting that they have to now shift the blame or shift the energy onto Black people. These are the same people that are saying, oh, aliens are coming and they're Black. Now they're attacking Black cities. Guys, that's America for you. So I really hope my people in Africa, my African people, I hope we are seeing what is happening in this place of America and understanding how they really don't like people that look like us, people that are Black. Because if this is happening to Black people in America, tell me how they're going to come into Africa and give you things that matter to make you develop. Make it make sense. Guys, that is it for me today's video. Let me know what you think about this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell I'm always posting. I will see you in another video. Bye.